There is a solution to our global situation, and there's a reason for it that is blatant. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk to you about how we can shift all of it. There is a solution. You ready to hear it? I think you know it, but you can be involved in it, and you can change your entire life in addition to the planet. Let's do it. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. What did you come here for? We didn't come here to suffer and struggle, but yet that's what everybody does. We live in fear. Fear permeates the planet. Are you ready to let it go? I'm going to tell you how we can absolutely shift the entire planet, and you can shift your life starting today. Now, this is going to take some practice, but I want to talk to you first about why we're in the situation we are. Everything's one thing. So what does that mean? Everything is reflection, a result of cause and effect. Everybody, as one whole collective consciousness, has created this situation. Yes, we have. And if you think no, then you're still living in separation, and you're disempowering yourself. Our thoughts and feelings, our illness, our thoughts that we are separate, our dislike with how we're living has created an illness, literally, that has shifted us into a situation where we must make the change because this is what we have desired. All of us. You know, this internet training that I'm always promoting, it's helping people to get out of their situations. Yet, we're so afraid to do that. We're so locked in emotionally to what we're doing, even though we despise it. Why? Because everybody else tells us that's how we're supposed to be. And we're a bunch of automatons running around doing the same things, petrified to break out of it. Why? Because you get discouraged, right? Your people discourage you. They tell you you're nuts, or what are you doing, or that's cray-cray. And it's difficult to break away from that because you question yourself. And then if things don't go perfect, or you aren't like a rock star like you were planning on being, people say, I told you so, and then we retreat back into our corner. People are tired of that. They're breaking away from that. Everybody on this planet is one mind. We are contributing as individual expressions, so you do get to choose your own experience within it. But everything you do and think and say and act affects everything else and beyond. There's no limit to this. It's just not for our planet. We have been no longer choosing to tolerate how we've been living as human beings, and there's no reason for us to ever suffer or struggle. Never. We have the ability to do anything. We have the ability to heal ourselves, to be abundant, to take care of everyone, to respect the planet. She's alive. We're on a living planet, a living energy, and yet we disrespect it. We disrespect ourselves. We don't even take care of our own bodies. We have polluted this planet, and we're eating poison, and we're getting sick, and then we're taking drugs that make us even more sick. And we walk around doing this. Are you going to take the blue pill or the red pill? It's time. This is why we have this pandemic right now. This is why this is happening. We've ordered this. Just like everything in your life, you may think you didn't order it. You did. There is no growth without experiences, without challenges. There's no growth. It's a boring story. Can you imagine watching a movie and there's this, couple in love and that's it? They never argue and the end? Come on. Boring. And that's what we're doing here. And we learn from that, right? In every story, in every movie, somebody's learning through it. Appreciating things or finding themselves or whatever it is they need to do. And that's what makes a story, a movie, great. is when we really get it. Now, if you've seen my movie, it's the Rooftop Christmas Tree. Same thing. What happened? Somebody had faith in that movie. It's based on a true story. But the story is that it doesn't become great until there's some kind of a challenge that we pull out of. Can you be okay with that? We're pulling out of the challenge, and we are having that opportunity to go to a beautiful final ending, although it never ends. Now here's what we can do. First of all, stop thinking of this, if you choose, stop thinking of this as some kind of punishment or conspiracy. We did it. Because even if you think that there's some people out there that did this, we still ordered that. We still ordered it. So we as a whole are never at the mercy of some individual group. How can we be? It's impossible. They can't have power unless we give it to them, right? Those people out there, we're not separate from them. They are a reflection of what we are, human beings, from the most serene to the most destructive. That's us as humans. Now, we're not truly human beings, but we are energy fields experiencing density. This is an amazing game, and it is a game. And it's not truly real. That's real. That's why things seem to be screwed up right now. Time and things jump and like something's there and the next day it's not. You're like, what's going on? It's a holographic universe. So we don't have to know it. Our human pea brains can't possibly comprehend this. So now we know if you are ready to believe, and belief is an individual thing. What's true for you doesn't have to be true for somebody else. And it's your reality, and it is true. So, but if you're ready to believe that we absolutely are controlling everything, everything's coming from here out here, and as a collective, we collectively as a planet ordered change. So the systems that aren't working, our health care, how we think about each other, the separation, how we treat each other, abundance, how we earn money and how that works. How can anybody ever lose their money? That's insane. How can you lose money? There's this much money. How can you lose it? No, it's shifting. It's just shifting. Where's it going? Where's it going? It's still out there. You know how crazy that sounds? How can you invest in stock markets and lose your entire portfolio? I can sit and explain that to you. But from a societal standpoint, it makes no sense. And I'm not talking about going into some, controlling situation. I'm talking about living as one community. The solution is for us to not go back into the system as it was and to create something amazing. You have a choice right now to make. Now, all my videos revolve around this, but what I want to share with you today is that illness that was created, a reflection of us, must be healed. How do we heal that? We cannot think, act, do anything the way we were. We can't if we want to evolve. There are going to be people who are going to struggle to stay in there, to go back to the jobs, to do whatever. The healing starts now. We can shift the entire planet into something amazing. We must think about the community. Those of you who've lost your jobs, we have to start saying to ourselves, how do we change this? Because this isn't going to happen overnight, but the shift here can. And as soon as we all shift here, it changes out here. We stop seeing this as suffering. Suffering is a story you tell yourself in your head. And we see it as, I get to participate in a huge transition of the planet that was not doing well. It was not treating the earth well. It was not treating each other. I got to participate in this healing. I'm part of that. There's no coincidences. You're here for a reason. You're part of this shift. Will you do your job? Because now you have to say, okay, who's flourishing right now? Ask yourself who's flourishing and why. We can flourish up here on a high frequency or down here. You could do some really nasty stuff and manifest like crazy. we're going up here. We're going to manifest up here so we can be abundant, we can be healthy, and we can still be on a high frequency that cares about one another, that sees no separation. And so many of you not even hearing yourselves talk. I feel like we're one, and I love everybody, but there's no buts on my channel. But, and then they give some story, and then I get pages and pages. I'm like, the stories are irrelevant. The story is irrelevant. Everybody has one. How are you seeing the story? Are you ready to let it go? Rip up the page, delete the email you were going to send me of pages of here's my sad life. How about I am? You have a decision to make right now. We can heal the entire planet. It's possible. Everything's possible. You don't have any limits. How is it possible for you to have limits? You're the one. The one has no separation. So whatever power created all this is you. And you're getting to experience as an individual expression how you participate in that. Every decision counts. No more polluting. No more polluting. No more choosing things that are bad, because when we make better choices, those who provide the things to us will give us what we are asking for. And when we stop asking for chemicals and garbage food and all that stuff, there will be no market for it. And those people will flourish more because they're going to switch over to something that's healthier. So they'll still get to provide, they'll be abundant. But we're going to encourage them now to do positive things, high frequency things for the planet and us. So we're not going to hurt anybody. Those people who are giving us things and pushing stuff that's bad for us, just say no. And you know what? There are plenty of companies out there. I've got one, it's Global Healing. Actually, I'll put it on my site. If you go to landria.com, I'll have it on there. I use products from Global Healing. What is that? I did my research. And the doctor who makes these products makes high quality vegan products, so that if you require things that are healthier for you to make up for whatever else chemicals you're taking, even the vitamins that we take, most of them aren't really good for us and have chemicals in them. We have to start thinking. You have knowledge now. Sorry, once you have it, now you're responsible. We were dumb before. We were dense. We didn't know. Ooh, right? I thought if there was no animal testing that it was vegan. Duh. Now I know. So I'm making nothing but vegan choices. I'm eating vegan. Did you know 2/3 of the crap that's going up in the air is from the meat markets? The animal industry. How they're doing it, what they're doing, all for us to eat. More than we possibly can. We can feed the world. I'm sorry, but we have to make some very, very strong decisions. I told you the other shoe's going to drop. Get ready. All the systems that aren't working will collapse, but amazing ones will replace them. I'm not talking about anybody taking over anything. I'm not talking about you having to do anything that you don't want to. Nobody tells you. We act like there's something out there telling you, oh, they're going to come in and take over. Who? It's us. We're it. Nobody makes you do anything. There's no violence required. There's no struggle required. Peace prevails. When you have two negative energies fighting, I'm going to fight for peace, I'm going to fight for this, you have a negative. Two negatives cancel each other out. Yeah, what happens there? Bad stuff. When you have a positive energy and another positive energy, you amplify everything. When you have a positive and negative, boom. It has no power over you. Squash it. With love. With peace. With your choices. Not fighting anything. Fight nothing. Nothing. Love, peace, compassion. not seeing anybody else as separate, knowing that energy that you are talking to. Somebody said their neighbor brings the dog over and it keeps pooping on the lawn, and they're inside going, sorry, I'm not meaning to make fun, but you know, I'm very expressive. He's pooping on my lawn. He's horrible. I'm like, the guy doesn't even know you're in there watching him, and if he does, he's probably thinking, wow, she must not care. You know what I did when my neighbor did that? Had his husky pooping on my front lawn and everybody else's lawn. I went out, I had a plastic bag ready. I saw him and went, here we go. I walked outside and I said, hi, what's your puppy's name? And I didn't even acknowledge that the dog was taking a big dump on my lawn. It had to be a husky. It couldn't be like a chihuahua, right? And I said, and he said the name. I said, oh, she's beautiful. And I handed him the bag. I didn't even say anything. I didn't say anything. We stood and talked for a while, and he picked it up. And I pet the dog, and after he picked it up, I continued to talk to him. I became a neighbor to him. He never pooped on my lawn again. He probably pooped on the other neighbors, because the other neighbors are like, nah, they don't care. One of my neighbors doesn't take care of her lawn very well. And I said, well, you're telling the messages you don't care about your lawn, so they think, I'm not going to do it on the pristine lawn, I'm going to do it on the lawn over here. They don't care. This is how it works, right? What are you projecting? So if you come out and you say to the neighbor, hi, you know, whatever, or you catch them, you have to come out and say, put some boundaries up. The message is, this is not okay, but the other message is, you're not my enemy. We just have some differences here, and here's what I require for my property. And you're still my neighbor, and I love you, and this is cool. No struggle needs to occur there. And this is how, if you want to change your entire life right now, you can handle absolutely every situation like this. You're going to raise your frequency up and up and up, and you're going to raise theirs. They're going to feel good. Instead of feeling guilty, oh, they caught me, and oh, blah, blah. Hey, listen, the husky that pooped on my neighbor, she came out and she said, hey, so he went on the defensive, and he said, believe it or not, he says, oh, it's fertilization, it's good for the lawns. I would have put it in a bag and said, great, put it on your lawn. So she put him in a position with a lower frequency to come back at her, because he was embarrassed. He felt stupid, and he knew he was being irresponsible. And even if he didn't, the point is the two negatives are going to clash. Every single situation from your moment right now, here on out, you can live the most friggin' amazing life. You can see absolutely everything totally different. You can take every situation and go in with kindness. And that person who's angry or frustrated, you know what? Just have fun with it. And just look with compassion and say, there's something inside going on there that's not good for them, that's not feeling good. They'll learn. But by me going into a negative frequency, I'm creating a double negative. And that planet that you're going to be on, that new Earth, is not going to be new for you. It's going to be old, and it's going to stay down here with the negatives. We don't know what that means, but we know that we cannot exist in the same frequencies together. So I'm walking around in euphoria. Right now, this is like amazing for me. Not that I think it's amazing for people losing their jobs and that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking my own personal frequency. Even people that are losing their jobs are going into super high frequencies because they're so relieved to let that world go. And they know that there's enough people. See, it's not individual anymore. Now we're one. It's a global problem. So we can't ignore it. We can't say, we're just going to let millions of people, not eat or have electricity or water. Can't do it. Now we as a collective have to deal with this, and that's why it's so beautiful. Because now it's just not a few poor families or one or two people in the neighborhood who lost their jobs. Now it's millions. Do you know more people have lost their jobs here in the U.S. than the population of Canada? That's going to create some attention. And this is going to keep going. It's the butterfly effect. So what's going to happen from this? Things have to change. Choose the things right now. Every choice I make has to be on that higher frequency. Now, I'm not going to just continue to eat the garbage because, somebody said to me, well, we can't afford the organic. That's a load of crap. It is, you know that. And so we all have to say, where can I make a higher choice on absolutely everything? Because that's going to reflect into the collective, and that collective is going to shift again. So it's not just you. We did this, let's shift it. But we have to have enough people doing this. This is our solution. We created it, we're shifting it. Don't pull back, don't go back. It happened for a reason. Evolve. Are you with me on this? Are you ready to do this? I guarantee you something. It's happening with my students. You will start to experience things that you never imagined. Opportunities and things will happen. You don't have to say, well, how? Shift, and it will show up. Seek it, and it will show up. Seek things and keep going and going. Things will start to fall into place because now you're expanding, and the message to the universe, the quantum field, is I'm ready for change, higher choices, better choices, joy, awakening. When you're always seeking that, you're in the higher frequency, and that's your focus is only on that, and that's what's going to start coming in, because 100% of your focus has to always be on a higher choice. So, you're going to go get some coffee. I have ceramic containers with a top on it. You hand it over, and you get that coffee in there. You don't get a styrofoam cup or anything else. You carry that thing around. Start using glass and ceramic, reusable. No more plastic. Make better choices. You can't control everybody else. It's about you. What are you doing? What am I doing? You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. We're going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep posting these videos till I decide to take off and go to other adventures. I don't know when that's going to be. Maybe another 20 years or, I don't know, 30, 40 years. Depends on what goes on here. I may want to bug out at some point. By the way, anybody who's leaving, everybody chooses it. Nobody just dies. They choose it. Everybody chooses it. All right. So another thing I want to suggest is, I don't like to do anything with channels. I don't think channels are pure, let's just say, messages, because the personality of the person's always going to come through, and sometimes that muddles things. So when somebody says they're channeling something over there and we don't know what it is, right, I'm always leery. But I have read one Seth book, and Seth does address pandemics, and I have to tell you what, right on target. I just heard this morning. It was a YouTube, somebody was reading it on YouTube, and I thought, oh, I would love to hear what Seth has to say, because I usually don't listen to other people. But this was written many, many years ago, so it's interesting. And the thing is and these aren't predictions, because predictions are whatever we create at the moment. The answer was that we create everything, and that it's definitely a reflection, and that the people who choose to die during different challenges, like accidents or hurricanes or pandemics, they're making a statement. They're actually agreeing to go at a certain time to make a real powerful statement. So if we didn't have people dying from this, pandemic, it wouldn't be a pandemic, right? But because we've ordered something that is really forcing us to change, they have agreed. Now or in advance, I don't have those answers, but nothing happens without your permission. They've agreed to exit at a certain time, and they don't have to go through all the crap that's going to happen coming up. They don't have to go through it. They're on the other side, euphoric. I mean, yay! Yeah, okay, we're still down here in the stuff. So don't worry about that. Nobody goes to it's not a negative thing for them. They transition, there's no pain. Once they come out of their body, there's no pain, nothing. They go, man, and it's beautiful. And so they contributed to this, just like any other thing that we ordered. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Want to sign up for my free internet training videos? This isn't the training itself, it's all the information about it. There's a really cool webinar I'm giving for free. Check it out if you want to get new skills. Go down in the description. I have some links for classes coming up. If they're full, you'll have a second one that gives you the unlimited replay for a year. And if you do the live class, you also get the unlimited replay for a year. If you miss it for any reason, don't worry about it. I have a whole bunch of master classes. They're all 3 hours. You can watch them over and over again. They're very inexpensive. And so just program yourself into the higher frequency, because it's tough to pull away from that sometimes, right? We're conditioned. Blessings to you, my friend. Health, wealth, peace, joy, abundance, but most of all, awakening. Namaste.